And there we go. Let's see. Setting up.
Like I have so many cool things coming out this year for you guys to see. It's insane. I've been
Excited
so
for it.
busy. Yeah.
That's
All
cool.
right. Well, let's get it going. Welcome, 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 everybody, to
Hello.
episode 36 of the podcast Unlimited Wisdom with Robert Hollis. I'm Craig A. Jackman, along with Matthew Hollis and Robert Hollis. We are so glad to have you with us here today. It's just an incredible way to start the new year. And of course, we've got a big celebration as well, I want to mention in just a minute. But first, just want to thank everybody. We are on our way to the 100,000 subscriber mark. We are, at the last check, 98,716. And I got to say, if we don't get it this weekend, gentlemen, something's crazy
Ah,
going on
I think we'll
because
have it by tomorrow.
I wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised. I really wouldn't. And you know what? We got to give a shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you very much for joining us on this incredible journey here on the Robert Hollis channel. If you haven't subscribed to the Robert Hollis channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. We love you and we appreciate you. It's very simple, and we produce a lot of different things all the time, shorts, other podcasts. So please join us on this incredible journey, and we would appreciate that. So, gentlemen, with that being said, Happy New Year and happy birthday, Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks,
you
guys.
know,
You
it,
bet.
it's
Happy birthday,
it's
Matt. I love you. I appreciate you.
Love and appreciate you guys. Yeah, like people were kicking around whether I'd show up on here, and I said, "Are you?" I was just joking with them beforehand, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like I get to get free happy birthdays. I'm gonna at least be on here for 10 minutes, you know?" No.
Hey, hey,
No,
I,
I
I,
appreciate you guys. Like I was telling Craig too before we got started on here, Dad. I'm like, we really aren't birthday people, you know? Like it'll be our birthday. We still work. We still do stuff. Like we tend to like go out to dinner and celebrate whatever day that everyone's available. It's not really in my DNA to be like, holy shit, it's my birthday today. But I was telling Craig at the same time, as I've gotten older, I've been more like, all right, time to take today off. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like time to actually relax. But I wanted to be on here with you guys because I have so much cool shit to share in my brain, like all the time.
Well,
And
why don't
yeah,
you head it off, man?
oh
do
well,
it.
you guys go first. You know, let's keep people in suspense. No,
Well, I just want to say again, happy birthday,
thank
33.
you.
It's so funny. I gave your mom a big hug this morning for going through whatever she had to have you. You're definitely a blessing. Of course, I don't get
Oh,
enough
thanks.
thanks for all the stuff that I did to make you. So it's like that.
Hey, uh, thankless job, you know.
Yeah, well, but you know what, Robert? It takes two to tango, and I think you and Terry tangoed right here.
It's like one of those things where, when a professional athlete or, someone walks, wins the Oscar, you know what I mean, or the movie of the year, and they're like, "Thanks, Mom." It's like, because I think as a male, they go, I know how much my dad had to do with this. It's like,
Well, it's like the thing too though is like, you know, you guys are such a part of my process no matter what, and you have been. So like I never really lack I don't know, lack accolades from like my family saying, "Hey, you're great," you know? So like I don't need it specifically on my birthday when I'm lucky
right.
enough and fortunate enough to hear it so consistently. So
Well, that's cool.
that's
That's cool.
nice.
It's
But
I think every father I think should strive, or every person should subscribe to just try to break the chain, try to do their best to allow the next legacy to be able to do more than they did. So that's what I believe. That's what I'm, the whole concepts of so you sow, so you reap. You know what I mean?
that's
And
hard to say.
yeah, and I'm just
She
like
sells, she
mentally in my
sells.
mind going, it's they say that the true, not only the service of many is greatness, but the true aspect of giving is when you know that you're doing things that will cause a ripple effect that you won't get to see in your lifetime. You
Yeah,
know,
like the planting of the tree, right?
yeah, it's like that's really the cool part of it for sure. And
Hmm.
man, I'm just excited about 25. I think that we did a really good job not only on last podcast but also on AMA, framing this up. And Matt said one thing that I think that's really unique is that if you learn to be present and celebrate each and every day, then birthdays and holidays are really not that big a deal. It's not that our family doesn't celebrate them. It's just that we got in a really cool. I actually learned this from my mentors, is that yeah, a lot of professional athletes say this all the time, but the masses expect them to play on holidays. There's not a professional athlete or race car driver, that, hey, you know what, it's my birthday, I'm not racing this weekend. But they're also racing, Mother's Day and Father's Day, and it's like it's pretty amazing that all the holidays that we normally like Christmas Day, it's like,
Hmm.
the all the baseball teams and the football teams are playing right now, and it's like people, but they get holidays, or me and Matt and Hannah and Terry and I've been able to celebrate some pretty good times for no reason.
Hmm.
Just
Well, I
no
think that's the
reason.
funny thing about it, right? We'll go to like a nice fancy restaurant for dinner, and you get that same thing where they go like, "What are you guys celebrating tonight?" And it's like nothing. We just wanted to
Life.
go. Yeah, exactly.
Celebrate life.
And
Exactly.
you'd think, wow, how fancy of them. They just get to go eat at a fancy restaurant anytime they want. No, that's not the case. We still have to make a decision. Hey, we're gonna get our shit
Right.
together and go do this. But it's not okay, it's someone's birthday, so now let's go do it. It's
Yeah.
more like, wow, it's been a really long time since we've been on a really extravagant date. Like, let's just go out on a nice extravagant date. And I think that is something that I've learned. That keeps life fresh, and it also keeps uh expectations in a
Hmm.
better
Yeah.
space, because I think a lot of
Spontaneity.
people have a lot of expectations about how their family and their friends are going to react to their birthday, or how they're going to react to holidays. Like, it's like, you didn't remember my birthday, or you didn't thank me for this or that, right? I don't have any of that, because I don't ever feel like, if someone didn't message me today and say happy birthday, I wouldn't think two shits about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't put a lot of emphasis on someone thanking me now in specific. It's like, just tell me you appreciate me. You know what I mean? Like, that more
Right.
than anything is, and I
And when
guess
and
I
when
probably
you
get that from you, but you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And when
Yeah.
you think about it, it's really sad that that's when we reach out to people. It's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. I probably should reach out to them, or I should reach out for their birthday, or maybe Christmas or New Year's, instead of just any day.
Every day.
Yeah.
You guys, this talk has reminded me one of my favorite quotes from Kung Fu Panda back in 2008, the movie. Master Oogway said this, and it was just like mind blowing. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it is so true that, I mean, yes, we can celebrate uh, whatever. I mean, regardless of how our beliefs are, but we got to celebrate today. Today is the present. It is a present. The fact that we are here today and able to do what it is, or all right, here's another movie quote that I love, able to do that voodoo that we do so well.
Well, here's a quick story about sowing and reaping. In a very last minute before we went to Dubai, I knew that Joshua was going to be there. And he said that, there's certain books that he can't get. So, I gave him a copy of both of the books that I created, but I also gave him, he wanted the greatest miracle in the world, and I forget what the other one was. But, I had my personal copy of the book, and I was going to order him one. I forgot. Next thing you know, we're on our way to Dubai. I looked at it and I just went, I'm gonna I'm gonna just do it, right? And someone told me that they don't want me to say their name. They said, please don't say my name. But today I got in the mail an original copy that was written in 1975.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
So the pages
That
are
looks
all
in great
yellow.
shape.
And I'm like going, dang, man. It was like I was looking at it and I was going like copywritten 1975. It was the first time he did the book. So someone seen me give my personal book away on one of the videos that I mentioned and said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that that it was worth it. So thank you, Joshua.
No, that's
So
really, really cool. I think that's one
yeah,
of
and
my
it was from somebody excuse me. It was someone that said they want to stay anonymous, and it's someone that you guys don't know. It's so,
that's
you
a
know, when we talk about getting close to 100,000 subscribers, I guess people are watching. You know, I was
well,
talking
what ends up
to
happening is you got to get a PO box, right? And then people can send you stuff to the PO box, right? And so then you can do streams or videos where you open up all this stuff.
you know, me,
Don't those videos
people.
get a lot of views anyways when you open up something
I
new or
think that
something?
people, if they Google me, they can find my address. I don't know why people always hid from that. I guess, you know, I guess a person could, but yeah.
It depends on what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
If you're out there like inspiring people, odds are no one's gonna want to show up. But if you're talking shit on the internet every day, you
ah,
probably need a little gated area.
very, very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was back in the day when people actually think that they could actually hide their residence. You know, now we know that professional athletes, when they play a game, someone's robbing their house. How are they getting all
Well,
those guys
listen,
to know?
I've gotten Christmas just happened. I've gotten Christmas cards from people that we have worked with or had worked with years ago that does not have my new address that still somehow figured out how to send me a Christmas
Oh,
card. And I was like,
wow.
how are
Did
they
they
don't even
do
keep up with me.
didn't you do an address forwarding?
I did, but I haven't given
Oh,
out my address in like a long, long time.
right.
Yeah, ever since that FBI list, I haven't talked.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that poster in the post office.
Right, exactly.
So I know when we normally get on here, we just talk about, you know, what's going on in our lives. So Matt, you did make me and Craig sort of go ahead. So, you know, it's your birthday, man. I want to hear what you're all excited about.
Well, I mean, like I pushed back into more of a creative space and kind of figuring out what I want to be doing. You know, like
Okay.
I'm sure everybody does, or not everybody, but a lot of people do this when a new year happens, or, you know, for me, these things happen at the same time because I was born on the 3rd, but like you start to evaluate and go, what do I want to do this year? And for me, like we talk about being present, but I'm more of like a long-term thinker and planner most of the time, right? Like
If I can tell a
I
quick story about you, Matt, I was
sure.
telling someone today or the other day about you know, you programming an AI to be your like special assistant, or
Hmm.
you know, just hey, that extra person, right? And I just was telling them that the more that you train it, I said, you know, we believe that all the programming we have in our mind, in our spirits and our soul are supposed to be ours. You know, no one wants to admit when you say plop, plop, fizz, fizz, that you can fill it in, you know, oh, what a relief it is. And Matt probably knows that one probably because of me, or even though
Yeah,
he's
is it like
young, you know?
Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah. And believe it or not, I think they have found out that they can program us even faster, because now we can hear da 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 da, you know, and oh, I'm loving it. It's like, what are you loving? Yeah, I got to go get some
I
McDonald's. I got to
I
get
was
some
thinking about
fries.
what I was gonna eat for my birthday today. So
Okay,
But
so now you've been programmed for McDonald's.
yeah, yeah. So with me saying that, I don't know where Matt, I was telling the story about Matthew, and it made me really proud because I was just telling him that I've run across Matthew in the years that he's been alive, 33 today, is he keeps reverting back to the mentality that I need to create an empire. I need to build a $100 million plus company or $1 billion company. And now that he's really expressed himself and he keeps teaching his AI, that I was just telling this person that, I just believe that everything's the opposite of what you believe. That phrase again, if everything that you know isn't so, then when would you like to know? So again, for us to feel enough, for us to have value, for us to, feel significant or whatever, it really, really comes around what have you created that's worth value? Now, the first words out of our mouth when value, it's like, what do you mean value? $100, $1 million? Why our value is so programmed on a fucking dollar figure, right? So I was telling this person that, people go, well, I need to make money because they don't have faith and belief and imagination that if they just were creative, that they would never have to worry about money again. And so I was telling this individual, I was telling this person, I'll just say his name because I talk to him all the time, Michael Bray. But I was just telling him that, my son will struggle with this and say, I need to make something or I got to do stuff to get some subscribers. Maybe if I get a following, then people will donate money and da 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 da. Money, 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 money. And I said, every time he goes down that track and uses AI, it's neat that AI can come back to him and go, oh, when did you change your mind?
Right.
When you're expressing yourself and telling me where you're going, it's all about this creation of stuff and things that can make people think different. Since I promoted the strangest secret in the world, Matt, thanks for putting that video together. I'm going, listen, I'm not going to promote something without watching it and going through it.
I watched it too. I mean, when I
Yeah,
edited it together,
yeah.
I was like, I should be watching this every day, you know?
Yeah, and so as I was watching it, it was like and listening to it and absorbing it. I was like, damn, this is just such the fundamental things that we need to be doing. And it's like all of a sudden I just realized I love the word imagination come up a number of times in there. And I'm just like in my mind going, again, people don't want to worry about money, but yet that's all they're thinking about. So it says the thing that you think about the most is, in my opinion, the very thing that's got the majority of people that will ever watch this video live or recorded stuck in your life. Because it's for you is I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make money. Well, if you take all the things about you and you need the money, then great. Well, that's why you got a fucking job. That's why you're getting up early when you don't want to. That's why you're stuck in the system in the gerbil cage or the circle is because your first thoughts is I got to pay bills. I got to have money. I got to have money. So the instantaneous result of that is going to get a job, do something that makes you money, and then you're caught in that. And then so all of a sudden, if you really think about people that really have done something, I brought up, whether you like her or not, J.K. Rowling's, you know what I mean? To just let your imagination go out on pages, you know what I mean? And pages and pages. And I think I've heard every person that's ever created a script, every person like Walt Disney, all these people that come up with these very creative ideas just seem to keep failing, 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 failing. And then all of a sudden, it's like the whole world's saying their name. And it's like in a blink of an eye, it's like a person does figure out how to get it done. And they do get it seen. And they do get it read. And they do get it in front of the right people. And if you just believe that you get your right information of your creation in front of a certain group of people, I know personally, they will fucking throw money at you. There was when Josh recently created, and went crazy. Probably the end of July is when I made a commitment to get into Akashics. And I did it deliberately. So what I did is I sort of made a bunch of cool posts on social media that it's now for a new challenge for me. And what that said to the world was Robert's in a different opportunity. So I had all these leaders reach out to me. Hey, we can give you $1 million. We can give you a couple $1 million. We can give you a position. It's like, what can we do to get you to come over to our company? And it's like really cool to see how fast that you could build your wealth and see what people are willing to propose to you when you just do what you're supposed to do. Just do what gives you the most joy. And I know a majority of the people that will watch this video, either live or recorded, if every day you don't love what you do, if you're not excited and passionate about learning and creating something new, Eric Markman was another person that reached out to me, and he was going, golly, he says, my wife's in the hospital and I've taken too many days off and I just can't get motivated. What do you do to get motivated? And I was going, listen, you got to just imagine all the time. And you just got to imagine. And then he calls me and says, yeah, I took too many days off work to take care of my wife in the hospital, so they fired me. Maybe this is a sign. And I'm going like, man, if you can't imagine your future being better than it is, because most people every day imagine their life as, wow, at least I just paid the rent. At least I just got my bills paid. At least I got close to paying my minimum payment on my credit cards. We need to think bigger than this. So, Matt, I just wanted to tell you that I was bragging on you because I haven't trained an AI to listen to me, but it would be neat that every time I go into a tangent of my programming thinking that I need to make money, and all of a sudden you've trained something to tell you, wait a minute, am I now assisting you in doing an entrepreneur endeavor? Am I teaching you now to because I thought the plan was
Right. Yeah.
it is like, well, thank you for reminding me. So you diving into AI, constantly focusing on your true self, because I know one thing for a fact, Matt, without any doubt in my mind, is that you continue down the path that you're going, and the concept of money is not going to be a problem for you. It just isn't. And so stop thinking about the money creation as of today, because I just see one of, not all of them, one of your AI creation is going to go viral. And when it goes viral and everyone's sharing it and people are like, who the fuck created this? The amount of openings for you are going to be multiple. It's going to be now
I
you're
just
going to
want,
have
yeah,
to.
I just want, listen, I look at all these other creators and I just want the free shit. They're getting all this free shit and I just want, you know how much I have to spend for all this AI stuff that I use? I have to, when you say you need money, I need like money to pay for all these fucking things. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I
Hey,
appreciate
Craig, did you know that
everything
your
that you
picture
said.
went down?
Yeah, because it seemed like it was a nice moment between you and Matt. So I wanted to share that
Ah,
online. And it's like, no, 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 that's between
there,
the father and the
there's.
son. Not that I'm trying to, I don't want to yeah.
Well, don't do that, Ed, because it was distracting. I got off track.
No.
Oh, sorry.
You don't understand, Craig. When he's talking to me, he's actually looking at you. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
that was funny.
No,
So,
I love
Matt,
everything that you said. I appreciate it. Like
yeah,
I I agree with you. I think staying in that creative space is so important, and I'm learning more and more. AI definitely does help me stay on the right track with that. Because it just kind of like kicks me back onto the path that I wanted to be on in the first place, which, you have family and you have friends and you have other people that if you're open enough to share with them can keep you accountable to those things. But at the end of the day, they love you and care about you. So they're going to like support you in what they think you want, not
right.
in what they think you need as much. Right. And so like I think that's one of those areas that you really got to put yourself in is like you know what you need, but the family around you is going to be like, "Oh, this is what they want. Go for it."
Yeah.
You know, if they're
Yeah.
supportive. They're
Yeah,
not
and
going to
if you thought about this,
so
it's like say you came to me with an entrepreneurial idea, right?
how many times does that happen?
Yeah. And I just came to you and I said, "Great, let's do this. How much do we need up front? How much do we need on a monthly basis?" There's not an entrepreneurial idea that I'm aware of where the person came back to him and said, "You know what? I guess it was less than I thought it would be as far as finances. And we're actually it's going to be a shorter time than I actually thought." It's always longer and more money, right? And
Right.
so when you can think about, I look at it with whatever belief people have. I just look at it that, the universe allowed me and gifted me to be your parent and your father. And
Oh.
with that comes a lot of responsibility. And so, I look at the stuff that Elon Musk is doing today. And, he had two parents that made sure that, he could just go whatever wonky way he wanted to go. I think if there's anything that mom and I have done is we just know that you always know that we got the net. We got the net. If you listed everything, you got
Well,
a
I'm yeah,
you
yeah.
got
I'm
a
so
soft
incredibly
place.
grateful
You and
for
Hannah
that.
got a soft place to land.
And I know how fortunate I am to have that. I don't take that for granted, you know. Like I think one of those things that really dawned on me was when you are sharing things like that. 'Cause it's not that we don't know these things, but it also you know, like there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna look at somebody like Elon or someone like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates or some of these people that had the opportunity to not think about survival first,
Right.
right? And maybe their family, whether it's multiple lines or maybe it starts at line one like it did with you, right? You know, you're not from wealth or anything like that. You had quite the opposite. So to have that as your son is incredibly great because it just gives me the opportunity to not just dive into like the wealth of information that I have at my disposal. And the older I get, the more wiser I get to not just the vastness of the amount of ideas and creativity and things that you do have, but then it's also uh, how much better you've been at guiding me in the direction that I want to be in as I've gotten older. And that takes like actually listening and awareness and understanding. And so like I think you know, I know we're having kind of a love fest here, but I love and appreciate you too. You know, I wouldn't be the guy that I am today without your guidance. So like I think and
Thank you.
also like your help, your opportunity to sit down and actually think about these things and think about how to implement them and how to do things with them every single time I have the opportunity to work in the areas that I am right now and think of the future impacts of what those may be, not just on myself, but like our family in general. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to work in that. And it's like being able to work in a lab with the internet about to come out, right? And
Right.
so like you're working on the internet and you're telling everybody, no, like this is gonna be the biggest thing like to ever happen. And it's gonna make me $1 billion. And they go, sure, dude, like I've never heard of that before, whatever. Right. And so like in my mind, having the ability to work on these things and like be one of the people to like perfect the art of doing it and work on it, I really do see it as like a new medium. And I think that it's gonna be huge. So like to have that
No
opportunity
doubt.
is huge.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt. And, and,
Like
and
it's like
so
my whole life
watching,
is built to this. So
yeah. Um, Craig, you got anything to add?
Well, this is just I like this right here because it is a new year. Okay, I mean,
yep.
and all three of us within a matter of 2 months are celebrating birthdays. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
Yeah.
when you think about it, yours is coming up in February, Robert. Matt's is right now today, Bless you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm hoping you have a fantabulous birthday. I had
Um,
mine just
right.
earlier this last week.
Right.
Hmm.
And it's exciting that these happen around the same time, plus the fact that we have a brand new year on the books. And so, in a sense, it's like not only do we get the birthday, the fact that we've traveled around this amazing globe one revolution, 1 year, but now we get to restart a brand new year almost at the beginning of the year.
That's cool.
And yeah, and so we get to move ahead and try new things, change new things. Not that we shouldn't do that on a regular basis,
Right.
but if you want to, and I know we've talked about this before, if you want to kind of start with a set date, how many things start on January 1st? How many new people want to go to the gym? They start a new hobby, they start a new job, they start something new because that day, January 1st, is the significant day on our calendars.
It was a year ago. It was a year ago when I came up with the concept of, hey, Happy New Day. It was a
Yeah.
year ago. It was last year on New Year's where I go, wow, we put a lot of emphasis on one day. Why can't every day be? So
It's
for
funny
a
because
whole
like we
year,
all say that pretty often now.
yeah,
When we
Happy New
don't, I
Day,
don't
great
even
and Happy
realize
New
it.
Day. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, Happy New Day, family. You know?
so it's pretty interesting how you can put one thing in play and then watch that. And believe it or not, every year I come up with a sort of new concept that I want to dive into. And this year, 2025, I said that funny phase and I didn't come right, Jamie just comes up with the coolest stuff, how to thrive and be alive in 2005 or something. I remember what
In
he wrote down.
2025, yeah.
Yeah. And the one I keep saying 2005, don't I? But it's like but
Hey,
one
listen, every person has a problem, not every person, but a lot, have a problem when the year moves over from
right.
saying the new year. It's like,
I
oh,
think
it's
when you had to
2025
write
now.
checks at this point in time, it's like, oh, damn, I've got to blow that check because I wrote 24.
So
Me is like, hey, hey,
yeah,
go
when I
ahead.
first
Sorry.
started thinking of a rhyme to go with it, my thing is truly be alive, because I know most people just exist. So my whole thing was, so I just really for 2025, I want to be more present to the things that are happening. I don't want to miss out in 2025. I don't want to be so focused on things that are distracting because I don't want to miss 2025. I want to be present and really be up on the stuff that is happening for real. Because I think a majority of the people on the planet believe that they're present and they know what's going on. And I learned years and years ago, I don't know when that mental shift happened for me, but that the day I pray that each and every one of you one day figure out how little you know. Because the second that I realized, man, I don't know shit. I really, really don't know shit. And when you do that, that puts you in such an incredible place to learn. So I'm learning, stuff from Matt all the time. But man, I'll throw you a good softball here to go on with some excitement and stuff that's happening in your life. So when you see a curve going up like this, right? And then all of a sudden it just vertical,
Hmm.
like a rocket taking off. It's like, fuck, so if it's going directly straight up 90-degree angle and it's just like compounding on itself, again, or Albert Einstein said, geometric progression that when that clicks in. And
Hmm.
so now that it's happening that fast and things are changing that quick, some of the clips that you sent me, um, when you send me a clip that you worked on and I looked at it and I went, man, I can't tell this is not real. That the guy standing there with the apple, And he's like looking, and I'm going like, there didn't seem to me like anything artificial of that. Now I'm looking at it, and of course I watch, a lot of Pixar stuff. And when it gets to a place where the last one I watched was uh
Wild Robot,
no, but not only that one, but
Inside Out,
the new In and Out,
Inside
where
Out too.
Yeah, Inside
yeah,
Out. Yeah.
yeah, and of course one of the new characters is anxiety. And I was going like, wow, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that watches it, but for anyone that knows someone that says they're struggling from anxiety, you need to watch that because the character anxiety pretty much overrides everything, including all the old programming.
Right. Well, she's a teenager now, right? In the movie, or she's
Right.
getting to that stage. So like, you just end up, I don't know, thinking about everybody else but yourself. But then it's more like how they.
Hey, I'm sorry, I got to
Yeah.
share my screen.
Sure.
Go for it. Oh,
About to
look
hit
at that.
99.
Oh, we're going to get to share this with everybody. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Are you gonna go live later tonight when it hits 100K?
3, 2, 1.
I got chills. Come on. Now
Happy New
oh,
Year.
watch it
No,
for-
just kidding.
We'll watch it for the next 10 minutes. It won't do anything.
All right. That's the funny part is it's like anytime you're not noticing or when you're noticing is when it takes forever.
See,
It's like when you're looking at the clock.
It's not like your car, you're driving your car, you know what I mean? And you're hearing the
You
wind
see it,
moving.
yeah.
Like, you
I'm
know what I
almost
mean?
1
The
mile.
tires are moving.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like watching the 1, 2,
There you
3,
go.
4, 5, 6, 7. Ta-da!
Hey,
Wow.
Good job, team.
Thank
Mission
you.
accomplished. Or mission 1
Almost
accomplished.
completely accomplished. We got 1,000 more.
That was pretty cool, huh? I had it in my, because I was going, do I have to be up in the middle of the night to watch it go to 100?
Probably. I
know,
mean,
it-
here's the thing is like I don't know. I don't know. We'll probably be there by the
We
evening.
could be there later tonight.
Yeah, by the evening.
I mean, the way that this has been moving, it's incredible. Thank you for our viewing audience and our subscribers. My gosh, we love and appreciate you so much, and you're helping us get to that point. And we're going to get that plaque.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
going to get that first plaque.
Question is where are you gonna put it on the wall?
Oh, I already had my imagination of the plaque that comes down. It's
That's funny.
that one right there. It's
Okay.
There you go.
that one we'll put above the other one, but that was the first plaque before being an auto mechanic. So
Mhm.
it's like, yeah.
Oh,
my
very
gosh.
exciting. I mean, it's gonna be fun to get it too because it's like it'd be cool to shoot a whole video of you opening it up and stuff.
We'll do that.
It's gonna be fun.
I think it's.
It
gonna
won't be that long
fantastic.
from now.
No.
I don't
Well,
know how quick because what they need to do is you'll hit 100K and then they verify it and then once they verify
I already know where the page is. So I got it all
that's so
figured
funny.
out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know more than me probably.
Well, the imagination has been there for a while, and not only that, but man, my imagination is more inspired on a million. I watch how fast a million happens.
Well, I remember, Robert, you were saying that you were hoping that we would get to the 100,000 mark by your birthday. And we're
Matt said
now,
that. Matt was
Oh,
going
yeah,
with
I
me.
said that.
Oh, okay, Matt. And now we're 3 days into the new year, and we are like 1,000 subscribers shy.
Needless
of the
to say, it was my
100,000.
birthday instead.
Yeah, I never thought about that. It's got to happen before midnight tonight. If it
That would be
happens before
so
midnight
cool.
tonight, we hit 100,000 subscribers on Matt's birthday.
Listen, you guys, tell your friends, tell your family.
Subscribe, even if it's just for. Well, no, we want to keep them around for longer than that.
Oh, they'll be staying. You know.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
so
just-
much, so many
that-
great things that we've got ahead.
Okay, Matt,
just on
I'm
this
sorry I
channel.
interrupted you.
No,
So
it-
my question was, okay, we're on this vertical. So Tell us where we're going. It's like I feel like I'm in a chair right now on the SpaceX, and
Uh,
I'm feeling all the gravity
Okay.
pull, and it's
like I don't know. It's like one of those interesting questions, right? Because I'm not really the person um to know exactly where things are going. I just know where things are going for like me and like for where the it's like
good point.
similarly going back to the internet as an example. There's a and you've helped me with this. There's that clip from the AMA where I asked a question about this, but it's like when you see a technology grow and it's the internet, imagine you're sitting there and you're working on the internet before it becomes a thing. And you're going, I could open up the first online retailer. I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. I could see millions over here. I can see billions over here. And you start to become money motivated. You could see the technology, the way that it's growing and the opportunity that exists there. But then you have to take it back and you have to go, take the money out of it. Do you really want to be running a business
Right.
of that scale doing this? You know what I mean? Do you feel comfortable with that? And then at the same time, you got to ask yourself, like the influence and the other elements. Like, do you want influence in this area of business? Like, is that really who you are
Right.
deep down? Because you'll see certain people, right? They'll get a bunch of money and then they'll based off because you need it, right? So maybe you make a PayPal, but you don't really care about money in that scale. But you do really care about is space and electric vehicles, solar, those types of things. So what you do is you take the gamble and you sell the company so then you can invest in those crazy ideas that people think are not going to work out, right? That for me exists now.
Right.
There's not this necessity moving into the next 5 years to generate $1 billion to get those ideas made because I don't
Right.
need to hire $1 billion worth of people anymore. Artificial intelligence and agents are going to fix that. So and have fixed that in a lot of ways. So since that's the case, I'm working every single day with artificial intelligence to create things. And I don't see that changing. I see that becoming more so the case. And agents are only going to allow me to have, in a sense, managers, right? So it's like when you have a company, you have a hierarchy and everyone reports to the CEO. So everybody's sending emails to Elon going, hey, SpaceX is doing this and that. But there's managerial people that are
Yeah.
talking to the other groups and stuff. And that's how artificial intelligence is going to exist in the future. So when you see that big hike up, it really is when you ask like what's going to happen next, it really is both exciting and horrifying at the same time
Yeah.
because there is a very good chance that everything that I want artificial intelligence to be gets leapfrogged very quickly. And as that leapfrogging happens, we might be more in a place where I need to reevaluate once again what I want this to be. Make it more personal.
That's what I meant about me being present. It's
Right.
like it's like as it's all accelerating at warp speed, I want to be present and aware enough to be able to go, that's the direction I feel good in. Because
Yeah, it becomes much more personal.
you can easily get distracted by fear of loss of going,
Hmm.
it's like, listen,
But
just,
Robert, I told you that you need to do this.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no. You can't do what you think you should be doing. You have to do what I tell you to do.
right. Or what everybody thinks that's going to be the next move. But I know one
Well,
thing,
imagine,
I don't want to
yeah,
be, I don't want to be a Elon Musk. I don't want to be a Altman. I want to be Robert Hollis. That's the thing that constantly.
both those guys too are they're just cogs in the machine to accomplish this one
True.
big idea. And that is a difficulty that their egos are struggling with quite a bit. And
Oh,
I'm
yes.
lucky and fortunate that I don't have to, like, I don't have necessarily the impact that these guys have. so I don't have to evaluate myself in a sense of that being meaningless. Like I don't have to have this situation that exists that I know that I'm building the thing that makes me irrelevant,
Right.
right? It's more the thing that's being built makes my stuff more relevant. Like that I'm lucky and fortunate that what I want to do with my life is around storytelling and creativity. And I do think that everything that's being invented makes that a little bit easier. And also the technology, the way that life is going to make that more not just more idolized, but more of a necessity in human life than it is now.
Yeah.
I see in the next 5 to 10 years, human creativity and invention and ingenuity, the thing that makes us very unique, and human connection, especially, becoming the number one, becoming the new currency in a sense. Like
I agree.
that is going to be the new money that people crave the most. And it's already been going there for a while. You've seen influence now gives money. You know, if you could buy an election just with money, that's been happening for a long time. But now we saw in the last election that money's not enough. You also need influence.
Right.
You can't just buy all of the ads and all of the conversation and win anymore.
And
You
you
need
gotta
influence.
you gotta that part of being the influencer is the influencer that people fell in love with before they did the endorsement. It's like
Well,
you
the
can't
influence
just
has to
build
be
the enfor.
genuine.
Yeah, you
You
people
can't
gotta
have
like
paid for the
you.
influence. It has to be
Right.
genuine. Yeah, which is a whole nother thing that social media, like it's interesting because you can have social media force everybody to be very imaginary, like very it's like an act, like
Right.
you're creating things in a sense to perform them so then you can get influence from the performance, right?
Right.
Like it's like The Rock showing up and being like, I'm lifting weights or I just donated a bunch of money or something like that, right? It's like
Lifting
donate a
up the
bunch of
eyebrow. I
money.
was trying to do it, but
Right, yeah, it's hard to do. I can't do it. Craig's got it. But you play around with those ideas and then you could bring it all the way back to the beginning of the conversation when it gets you can have those conversations about money. And then you can have those conversations about business. And then you can have those conversations about influence. And then when you see that line, do that exponential growth, none of that shit matter. That's what that line means.
it's
It
reinventing. It's a giant restart button, a reset button. You know what I mean? It just that's what I
yeah.
loved about it. When I seen the internet and understood the internet for what I understood it when it first came out, I was going, holy shit, this is going to give me the availability to connect with everyone in the world.
Yeah,
That
someone used to need a radio or a TV show to do, now every person
And you
has.
couldn't even get out that far. You could only go within the community. Here,
yeah.
look at what we've been able to do. We get people from all over the world.
But
Well,
that's the end
as we
goal.
know it, I mean, here on
Yeah.
Earth at least, who knows
Mhm.
what other space aliens may be coming by and going, what are
Right.
these three guys talking about? Let me plug
That's the
into
end
my
goal, not the
internet.
aliens, but that's the end goal of the Industrial Revolution. Like
Yeah.
the end goal is from the very beginning, when you look at the time frame of humanity and the scale of speed at which things happen, whether it was the invention of the airplane, all the way to us landing on the moon, and being less than 100 years, and then you look at thousands of years of no progress, it was the Industrial Revolution that really took us to another level. And this is AI. People don't notice this, but AI is just the end goal of the Industrial Revolution. It's us creating a machine to do the work so we no longer have to do it. And that was
Yeah.
what the Industrial Revolution was the start of. So,
The best
Oh,
example I seen,
absolutely.
I think we talked about this briefly, so I won't elaborate on it. But I heard somebody and they were asking well, it's going to steal jobs, right? And the guy goes, oh, like a present day farmer.
Oh,
And the guy
anything.
and the
Yeah.
guy goes, what do you mean? And he goes, when you look at the millions of acres that are being farmed, and to think that a guy used to do it with an ox or a horse pulling a plow.
Well, it's crazy.
It's just
You're
like,
even in the animation world. I
what
have to
the
fight against this all
hell?
the time, right? Like in
Yeah.
the animation world, it's like a big thing, right? Because there's a lot of animators that are losing their jobs, and a lot of is a huge
Artists.
deal.
Yeah.
Artists and animators. Do you guys realize that when there used to be a whole job called the in-betweener with
Hmm.
animation? Craig might know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Basically, you'd have these professional animators that would draw the first frame of an animation and the last frame of an animation. Now we're talking back in the Disney days. They did not draw the middle frames. The people that drew the middle frames were the in-betweeners, the people that were the interns, the people that were not the main artists, right? The main artists were the ones that drew the main animation, and then people filled in the middle ground. Now, when the invention of the computer happened, we no longer needed in-betweeners because the computer, you could do a keyframe at the beginning of the animation, at the end, and the computer would be the in-betweener to go state 1 to state 2. This is what needs
Wow.
to happen. Artificial intelligence can do that right now. You can already do the in-betweener thing with
In
here's the first
betweener.
keyframe, here's the
Yeah.
last keyframe, fill in the blank in between.
And
Sora
even
can do
then,
that right now, right?
when Disney was making the earlier movies, they showed, like, they literally 3D'd the animation in such a way where they would only
Like
draw the
moving
character.
backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, they would move only the background, and the character, even though it's kind of still in the middle of the frame, looks like it's walking, but it's the only thing in the frame. These machines were just huge
Hmm.
that would do this. I'm sure there's a video on YouTube somewhere that talks about
Yeah,
the
So
probably.
old
yeah, so to
style of
bring that up,
animation, and look at where we're at, just like you're saying, man.
yeah. No, so true, Craig. To bring that all to a head, it's like there's so many things that have existed through this industrial revolution that a tool has replaced. Artificial intelligence is the tool of the imagination. There's never been a tool that's existed that can spark and allow you from the point that you can vocalize what you want to the day
Wow.
that you die that's existed in the human state to harness your imagination more than artificial intelligence. It can create in the future, it'll be able to create movies, books, songs, anything that you want with your input. Like I've said before, a lot of people get stuck in this because they start thinking about the people on the path to the end goal of the art, the in-betweeners. And they think about the in-betweeners losing their jobs. I don't think about the in-betweeners losing their jobs. I think about the in-betweeners being the main artists. That's where I think. I don't need to think about um, the decade that they need to spend before they can get to the state that they can direct the film that they want to make. The reason they got it in the business in the first place. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about them sitting down and instead of being the people that draw the frames in between, them being the people that draw the frames at the beginning and the end of their
Wow.
own story, of their own imagination. And that could be music, that could be anything. And similarly, like you said, Dad, with it's like certain things have existed now with the internet. It's like I can reach anybody I want to. Now I don't have to have $1 billion backing to reach 1 billion people. I can
Right.
do that from my
Right.
house. That's AI. I no longer have to have $1 million or $100 million to make that Marvel movie that you wanted to make. That doesn't no longer exist. You can make that in your bedroom and release it to everybody immediately, right? There's no barrier between you making those things happen anymore.
It's like
And
when you watch a video go viral. You know what I
mhm,
mean? It's like there's people out there that try to get you to pay them to create a viral video.
yeah,
Uh,
it can't be
uh,
done.
yeah, a viral video is something that happens in a moment of
Organic.
time. It happens in a moment of time that like organic and it's just like everybody like that. There's been videos of baby hippos before and other baby animals before. And now what they're doing is now there's a new baby hippo, but that one's not getting the traction is the other baby hippo.
It's Mudang. Right.
Gundam style, you know what I mean?
Hmm. Well, that's because the internet too, and this is the thing. Like that clip that I sent you guys of Bo Burnham, one of my favorite artists around. but he's a very wise guy when it comes to this stuff because he grew up in it, and so like he has a very internal thought process of how it works because he's been part of it his whole life. But watching somebody go through that process themselves as an artist, and watching Inside and watching him go through that process directing his own film and going, ah, shit, like what's the next step of this, right? Like it really has gotten to the place where they really want to monetize your attention span,
Sure.
right? And like there's really nothing else to
Matt.
do. And so you're seeing like this kind of shift, and the thing that you want to be doing at this stage is reclaiming that.
Yeah. I
So
I told your mom this. And I don't want to get onto a negative thought here, but it's so obvious. To think that we had this incredible New Year's of 2025, right? And how now there's 24-hour news on this guy in New Orleans and this guy in Vegas. 24 hours. We got to hear about this guy that took a pickup and ran down Bourbon Street. It's like
I have a whole nother
24
Reddit account that has these
24
things.
hours? Does it
Yeah.
really have to be on the news 24 hours a day? It's like
Yeah.
that just really shows you where the media is. Happy New Year. Look. No matter what channel Terry and I did on the four major networks, 24 hours on those networks, no matter where you turned on. It's like, hey, we found out that he was wearing shoes. How can you rattle on fucking talking for fucking hours about something that horrific and give that individuals that much fucking attention? I know nothing about the people
That's
that he hurt and killed.
yeah.
I'm just like, what the? So I really had a really like, Jesus, can we just like not even turn on the TV? This is freaking ridiculous that, it's like the media's job to make sure that they destroy your 25 before it even fucking gets started.
And that's their only way to make money anymore. If it's good
Oh
news,
my
people
God.
don't watch or they don't take the
And
time
I
to
will
watch.
say one other thing, that all the networks were reported that there was a Tesla electric truck, Cybertruck, that exploded. A Cybertruck exploded in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas. The Cybertruck did not explode. The fireworks inside the truck exploded. But no, that people purposely fucking sat down to write that and said a Cybertruck exploded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's like,
probably an AI. It was probably an AI trained on articles to
it's
write
like I'm
something
going
that would
like,
get the most clicks,
so
right?
Elon Musk has to come out and say, hey, listen, if you're going to blow up in front of a building, even Donald Trump's, don't use a Tesla because all the fireworks blew up to the inside, killing the guy, and blew straight up. Didn't even take any windows out of the building. So it's like if you would have used a piece of shit pickup and did that, it would have took all the windows out of the front of
There
the
was,
Trump Tower.
Used a
yeah.
Yugo. There you go. Yugo. Those are now the new cars for delivering.
Well, it's so interesting too because it's like initially I go on Twitter, right, and then that's all that's on there,
Yeah.
like New Year starts and I'm like, all right, I wake up, it's a brand new year, I get on the internet and it's like immediately
God.
all this
Yes.
shit. And so then what I did, I was gonna say, then I went log out of these accounts, log into the other accounts that you have, and
Yeah.
none of those feeds have any of that shit in it. I have all that stuff blocked, and I'm just like, just scroll through the creative stuff, scroll through the
But
interesting stuff. Because
Well,
like
that's what
this is the
you're.
reason that I do not like if you guys are I know a bunch of you guys are on Facebook and you're wishing me happy birthday. I probably will respond with one whole message, but I
yeah.
do not use Facebook and Instagram like ever.
Right.
And the reason that I don't anymore is because having worked in artificial intelligence now, I'm fully aware that Meta has every instinction and has for the longest time to, and this isn't necessarily even Mark Zuckerberg anymore. Company needs to continue to make a profit.
Yeah.
I've been through enough research to know that Facebook and Instagram destroy my mental health on purpose to keep me engaged. So I just don't go on those platforms anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm aware, even when I try to, similarly to what I do with Reddit and X, when I try to get myself to a place where I just block all of the shit, I would have to like unfriend everybody. Because
Right.
it purposefully takes these people's shit and puts it in front of my face, even though
Yep.
I don't want it. Right? So it's
I
like if
I made a
I can't get away
decision
from it.
when I made a decision just like MySpace years ago. All right. I I can't say that joke. Maybe I can. Um, but that it's the whole concept of if you're going through hell, keep going.
Right.
And one time I said to your mother, Matt, that if I had to crawl on my hands and knees through broken glass and through diarrhea with corn pieces in it,
Yeah.
that I would do that to get back to her. So, I just wanted to make it really graphic. But the point is that the pain of glass in my knees and my hands, and also going through shit, dodging, you know, pieces of corn, my focus was to get back to her. So I didn't care what I went through. And so I'm that kind of person. So it's like when I got on MySpace and thought, oh my God, here's where I can connect with billions of people to inspire them to have a better future for themselves. When people watch me on social media, that's me connecting with people. I do not scroll on Facebook. I do
Yeah,
not.
I think that that's very wise. Like what ends up happening. Well, it's interesting too because there's like this duality, right? Like I had this wake up call where I'm like I'm not gonna try to understand a social media network that I don't use. Like try to figure out how
Yeah.
to market on it and how to
Or
do these
like you
things,
said,
right?
that's manipulating people. Or now,
They all do that, including
yeah,
you too. I don't
that's
really
their
care about
job.
that.
Their
But
job is keep
like
you
we've
connected.
all who here has gone down the YouTube algorithmic rabbit hole more than
Oh,
once, where like you
yeah.
watch one video and then all of a sudden there's like 40 videos
Shorts.
in your feed or
Shorts.
shorts.
I
They all
haven't,
do it.
I don't do that.
Yeah, they all do it, but it's like it's this, I think with Facebook and stuff, it's this desire to, like I know what I'm doing when I go down a rabbit hole of
Can I
certain
say,
things,
can I
right?
say a phrase?
Sure, of course. It's your podcast.
I use social media. Social
Uh,
media doesn't use me.
See, that's the way it should be.
right.
I
Yeah.
use technology. Technology doesn't use me. I'm very, I'm very disciplined and I'm very attentive. Now, I'm not perfect, so every time I might see something stupid and something that cracks me up. And Craig and Matt will know it because I share it in the visionary group.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, that's just very human. Like, that's what makes the internet. Here's the thing, right? Like, if you went out, and I do this all the time, like, if I go somewhere, right, and Hannah doesn't go with me, when I come back, I share with her, like, what went down, right? Like, I like to tell stories, so, like, I try to make it interesting, at least when I'm telling her, but I tend to do that. And it's like, if you're utilizing social media for those types of things, then it's great.
Right.
Like if you're using it as a platform to connect and a platform to share, which was it was invented for that. It's just the thing that kind of fucked up the whole entire experiment was the algorithmic stuff for engagement. It's very hard, just like you said earlier, it's very hard to get engagement, and this is obvious. If it worked a different way, then the news wouldn't be the way that it is right now.
Right.
It's engagement comes from negativity more than
Right.
it comes from positivity. So
Well, Matt,
there's
you and I figured this out when all of a sudden all our Facebook ads didn't work. All right. So it was very, very obvious that I know that people right now still make the funniest post. The funniest post for me on social media is someone posting, "Hey, how many of my friends are seeing this?"
Or
That
even
to me,
better, if you
that to
see
me
this,
is the funniest.
respond by posting it up, which will tell me how much of a friend you really are. What
Yeah,
the
it's
heck?
like
it's the same as those old like email things
yeah,
that people used to send. It's like if you're my true friend, you'll forward this to another friend.
Exactly.
And it's like they're just connecting to that part of us that wants to feel like we're part of something, and social media is very, very good at this, to the point that it's created hive minds of very radical people in different
yeah.
areas. And I think
I
the
know that
awareness to that is huge.
I can post something on social media and I'm 1000 okay, percent okay with not anyone responding, no one liking, no one sharing, no one, it's always like we got a group on Facebook that used to be popular, and I think it has like 44,000 people in that group. And to think that I could post in there right now, the people that respond to this, I'll send you $100 on PayPal, and it'd be like it'd be like
Wow.
crickets. But I think it still would be crickets. It was like because there's just it's yeah. I don't know why people do
Well, we
that.
engage with things that are engaging with us at that time, and that's why
True.
streaming is so big. In a day and age that all of us are kind of working from home and doing remote work, and that's going to become more so the case.
Yeah.
With especially this year, you guys, like, remote work is the first step into no work, right? So like we're
Yeah.
gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
remote work first. And so since that's the case, I think like a lot of people are going to have a lot of time sitting with themselves, similarly to COVID, except without the excuse. And
Right.
it's going to really, really like dawn on people quickly that that they got to figure out a different way to live life,
Right.
you know? Because a
Well,
lot of us
Matt. Well,
work to
Matt.
survive, and
I'm
then
gonna pull an audible here because I know that you love talking, and I want you to enjoy the rest of the day off.
it's
So
no problem. I'm going to get on my stream after this and keep. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
All right. So
No, my stream's
so
tomorrow.
I
let's
was going to say tomorrow at
yeah
3 p.m.
let's
Big
break
stuff to share tomorrow.
yeah let's break protocol for this podcast. And Matt, I want you to have the last word, including telling people why they should come watch you tomorrow.
Well, I just think it's I've ran out of excuses. I've said this before, but I've ran out of excuses not to be more imaginative and creative. AI is taking those away from me every single day. And so now, starting this brand new year, I want to dive into it and just be as creative as possible in as many different areas as I can, and share that process with you guys. I hope to like push my imagination to as far as I can, and I hope to do that with yours as well, if that's something that you want to do. And I'm gonna try to be doing that every Saturday. Like
Cool.
I watch you, Dad, every single Saturday get on and inspire people, and I get off of those calls really excited. And I'm like, I should be doing my own thing after this, and so I'm gonna start doing that. 3 p.m. every Saturday, I'm gonna be live. And then on top of that, I'm going to be uploading a bunch of videos and a bunch of content. You're not just going to be seeing that on my Matthew Hollis YouTube channel, but also on this one.
Yeah.
Like, we have a bunch of stuff coming up to inspire you guys and share over the new year. So that's my
I
last word.
I yeah, I'm just telling people, Matt, that uh you will find your path through the creation through the creation and sharing to others. It's like no one no one ever finds their way by thinking about what the way is. I don't think I've ever said that. So I got people that are reaching out to me right now going, I'm stuck. I really don't know what to do. And you always seem like you know what to do. Wrong. I'm just doing shit. I'm like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I'm creating and I'm connecting. And sometimes I don't like this and I stop doing it and I get a little more pleasure out of this. And who knows, maybe I'll come back to doing some stuff. And it's like, I just know that moving forward, that if I'm doing stuff, like I fought with myself to do a video on New Year's Day. I was just sitting out there and I'm going like, well, what should I do? And my mind went, that's why you're procrastinating. It was like, I don't know what to say today. It's like, fuck, you've never known what to say. Take a shower, turn on the TV, turn on the video and fucking do it. I'm like, okay, so it's like, so in a blink of an eye, we're about ready to have 100,000 subscribers. People look at that and we got 2,600 videos online. And now all of a sudden you just look at it and you just go, well, what should we put up? That the video right now that's surprising me the most is the one that I caught while I was recording a Zoom with two other people, Mark and Solomon on there. They were inviting a bunch of their friends on there. And I clicked on, hey, I just got to tap to trade. And I showed that, waited till they all got on, went back to it, closed out the trade, moved on with my life. And I think that people are just like, shit, he's trading while he's doing everything else, when everybody else is thinking about trading. Did you guys hear that? It's like, right now, I'm successful at trading because I'm not fucking thinking about trading. I know it goes up and down. I click on it. I watch it in the background. In fact, it's going in the background just right now. And I also can just click and share my screen and watch the counter go up on YouTube. Am I focused on creating content for YouTube? No, I'm creating and throwing shit up there. And Craig grabs those videos and throws stuff up there. And then we do podcasts. And Craig will like shit out of here and then throw it up. And then we'll do an AMA tomorrow at noon Pacific time. And Matt and I will pull shit out of that. And Craig will pull shit out of that. And you throw it up. Just do fucking something. And if you're going to do shit, why not do shit that you enjoy that puts a fucking smile on your face? Who gives a shit about the rest of the world?
Beautifully said.
I can't follow that at all. That was
love and appreciate
happy
you,
birthday,
Dad.
Matt. Happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you.
You and Hannah have a great time. Craig, close us out.
And yes, happy birthday, Matt. And
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so very much. And
no donations? No, I'm kidding.
No, we're okay right now. But okay, now that you bring it up, if you want to donate, if you're watching on YouTube, the $sign at below the chat, click on that and you can donate. All the money goes to Robert Hollis's organizations that he donates to, orphanages and other things. So
yeah, if you guys want to get me a gift of
I gotta say one more thing.
I was gonna say donate to
inspired.
There's not only people that have a birthday month, but I've actually seen people do this. I'm having fun. Don't get mad at me. No's hate mail. Hey, Matthew is having a birthday, and if you guys could just send money to Matt's Cash App. It's Matt needs the money on Cash App. What the fuck? I see people do that, and I'm going like, damn, they wouldn't do it if it's not part of their. I don't know. I'll leave it alone.
No, you know how it works. They post it and they say, I need money in my Cash App. And then one person sends the money and they go, nobody loves me. Like, dude, giving you shall receive.
I'm sorry. I went, I went to the dark side. I pulled the Darth Vader right there at the end.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Craig.
All right. Well, you can follow Robert Hollis at roberthollis.com. You can also join our exclusive community by going to roberthollis.com/video to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We got lots of great content and videos there. Plus, you'll help our subscriber base grow. We're going to hit that 100,000 within the next 24 hours, maybe a lot sooner than that. But please do so. There's going to be lots of great content there that'll help you move to the next level. Please don't forget. There we are, 99,154 at the moment.
Channel's almost got as many subscribers as I got in the span of us talking here.
Wow.
I got to get to making content. That's my issue.
There we go.
If I was making 5 videos a day like this guy over here, then we'd be rolling. That's the dream.
Please don't forget to like and share this video on YouTube with others. It'll help us grow our community to reach out to those with ears they'd hear. And, once again, thank you so much. Shout out to our birthday boy, Matt Hollis. He is our executive producer and here on the Hollis channel, as well as Robert Hollis. Bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for being our mentor, our GPS to success, and, of course, our dear friend. And my name is Craig Jackman. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Unlimited Wisdom continues in 2025 in all forms. My name is Craig Jackman. Please be good to yourselves, be cash, and until next time, don't forget tomorrow, AMA, noon Pacific, right here on the Robert Hollis channel. And then Matt will be on Matt Hollis channel at 3 p.m. Pacific with his AMA. So join us there, please. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Talk to you then. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you,
Craig.
Matthew. Happy birthday.
Dad.
Thank you, Craig.
See you guys.
All right. Thank you.